licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right?
Welcome to Game 8 of Monsoon Madness. We have Boulder County Roller Derby versus Elevated Roller Derby today.
Welcome, everyone. We're going to go ahead and do some roster reads. First up, skating in black, we have Boulder County Roller Derby's Flat Iron Phoenixes. Number 114, Cat Claws. Number 1190, Ricochet Nene. Number 12, Soccer Blue. Number 123, Penelope Bruise. 213, Primeval. 24, Angry Topaz. 30, Pixie Freeman. 420, Chingona. 504, Fleur de Beast. 71, Tchaikovsky. 707, Lady J. 802, Rutabaga Ginsburg. 818, LA's Finest. And 91, Abana.
And wearing white, we have Elevated Roller Derby. Number 11, Killer Queen. 1226, Rekka. 1313, Horticia Madams. 15, Harley Darling. 187, Doom De Doom. Number 248, just got to scoot past you there. 321, Rocket. 329, Triple Axel Rose. 34, Fighting Girlfriend. 414, Lost in Your Thighs. 45, Nikki Six Shooter. 484, Gemini. Number 9, Kel's Inferno. 909, Tsunami. And 999, Amanda Jamadinia.
And of course, this game wouldn't happen without our wonderful Monsoon Madness officials out there. Let's give a shout out to Doesn't Matter, Darth Bling, Doppelganger, Ms. Behaven, Mr. Nitro, Gorham Browncoat, Hyperlinks, Cyan, Notorious, Effin' Ref, Serious Hurts, Lemon Stinger, Saren Gasp, Prince Albert, Colonel Angus, Manosaur, and Hatebit. We'd also like to give a shout out to our medics who are here volunteering and keeping everyone safe on the track. Our medic sponsor is EBIT. EBIT provides high school and adult students with the advanced skills and training needed to thrive in today's competitive job market. Getting ready to kick off our second WFTDA game today. This is an exciting matchup. The winner of this game will go to the championship. The loser of this game will play in the third place game tomorrow.
All right, we got some cheers in-house as both teams take the track in preparation for Jam 1.
Got everyone lined up here on our Rehab Lab Jam line. Couple blockers floating over at our Clover Cup 2025 pivot line. 10 quick seconds and we'll be off. Jamming for Elevated All-Stars, we have Fighting Girlfriend, Ricochet Nene, jamming for the Flat Iron Phoenixes from Boulder. Looks like Nene is going to take the lead.
Fighting Girlfriend is still trying to break through that pack with the star in hand as Flatiron Phoenix's jammer is coming around to score points.
Flatiron Girlfriend had some great track awareness on that, getting knocked out and coming in right in the middle of that pack and knowing who had knocked her out and who hadn't. Elevated looking for the star pass. Nene's coming around to take 4 more points here, but Elevated is really holding them out at the front of the pack.
All right, and Fighting Girlfriend was able to successfully complete a star pass to number 1313. Horticia Madams is now Elevated's jammer on record, just as Flatiron Phoenixes decide to call it off, and that is 12 on the board for the first jam.
It's a nice way to start off a game.
definitely.
Nice 12-point first jam with no penalties. Good to see everyone keeping out of that 187 penalty box. Aw, take that back. Looks like the pivot from elevated is going to go to the box for that hit there. Penelope Bruce also heading to the box with a track cut call. This is giving elevated a chance to get on the board.
And jammer for elevated 414, lost in your thighs, is able to take advantage of a no pack call and get out to now be scoring eligible. And looking for some offense from their teammates, but hit to the infield as their pivot comes back onto the track.
Elevated's going to walk away with 4 points on that one, putting them on the board.
We will get a full 2 minutes this jam because it was a hard hit, but it looks like everybody's getting up quick. And Penelope Ruse is back on the track, also looking to score some points. And we've got a tight pack right now.
Elevated doing a good job holding that jammer back, but it looks like Penelope Bruce is going to maybe make that out and take 4 points. Tsunami is heading to the box with a multiplayer. That puts elevated at 3 penalties already this game. Boulder's got 2.
Boulder's good, huh? Boulder's good.
Elevated is just moving that jammer up track real slowly.
And there is the time call, and the jam is over. It looks like, wait for all the hands to go into the air, and we're gonna have a 7-4 jam in favor of elevated. Correction, 7-6 jam.
Looks like both teams are going to start with a blocker in our 187 penalty box, so a little 3-3 defense here. Got Soccer Blue jamming for Boulder and Gemini Boulder for elevated. Gemini is taking lead. Nice quick lead, actually.
Gemini is coming up to score points as Soccer Blue is coming around, seeing if she can sneak some out as well.
Nice little apex jump there by Soccer Blue, taking 4 points.
Gemini able just to sneak on the inside, all but was picked up a cut call and is heading to the box as Soccer Blue continues to pick up 4 more points for Flatiron Phoenixes.
This will be a 2-minute jam now. It looked like some beautiful footwork, but toe stop must have gone out. Soccer Blue holding on to that and making it through the pack for another 4 points.
And Gemini is now back on the track, and we have a clear box for the moment as we have about less than 30 seconds left in Jam 4? Jam 3. And it looks like Elevated is going to be losing one of their blockers to the penalty box. And both jammers really looking to fight through as the jam is called off.
A lot of work there on that jam, going 2 minutes, and Boulder, the Flatiron Phoenixes, walking away with 16 points, elevated 6. Looks like Elevated is starting down a couple blockers here. They've got 2 in the 187 penalty box, so we'll see what these 2 are going to do out there.
And Lady J is able to pick up lead for the Flatiron Phoenixes as the Elevated blockers are looking to offer some offensive help for Fighting Girlfriend.
Lady J doing a lot of spinning out there on that jam.
Able to spin through right as Fighting Girlfriend follows her through, and Lady J calls off the jam.
Yay, I'm not in trouble.
Unfortunately, Elevated has 2 in the penalty box again on this jam. 3 actually, so they're starting with 1 blocker out there. That's just a really tough way to start a jam.
And Nene is able to take advantage of that pack advantage, picking up a quick lead as Lost in Your Thighs continues to fight through, now having 1 more blocker out of the box, able to get some help, but now they are back on their defensive focus as Nene is now scoring eligible. All right, and Lost in Your Thighs has now completed that initial pack and is scoring eligible, and it looks like we have 3 of the 4 blockers back on the track now.
Elevated starting this jam again with 1 blocker in the 187 penalty box. Penelope Bruce jamming for Boulder is just pushing those blockers right out, looking to get a no pack call. Nice work there. Gemini is taking that cover off, looking for the pass. Nice quick little pass, and the pivot's taking it. It's very efficient. But Penelope Cruz sort of spinning through that pack and taking 4 points, calling it off.
All right, we're going into this next jam with Elevated having a full pack and Flatiron Phoenixes with 1 in the box as Soccer Blue is jamming for Flatiron Phoenixes and Rekka for Elevated. And it looks like Soccer Blue is able to pick up that lead jammer as Elevated loses a blocker to the box. And
oh, losing their jammer. That is rough. So we've got a power jam here for Boulder. That puts Elevated at 10 penalties already, which is a rough way to start 7 jams in.
Yeah, we still have lots of derby to play.
Soccer Blue making quick work of that and taking 4 points. Meanwhile, Rekka is back on the track and has taken that cover off.
Soccer Blue has 2 to beat up front, looking to compute another scoring pass, but the pack is able to move up, and now they're fighting against 3 blockers of Elevated. And
the pivot from Boulder is going to the penalty box with a high block call.
Everything's just really slowed down right now at this point in the jam. Oh, and just as they say that, Rucka is able to find a spot on the inside and break through to be scoring eligible.
Yeah, Soccer Blue's gone a minute and a half. I don't know if they're going to wait to clear the box or they're going to go ahead and call it. A lot of extra effort there, maybe. Could have called it a little, taken a little break. It was a long jam for them.
I mean, at least it was a 12-0 jam in favor of the Flatiron Phoenixes. So we are heading into the next jam, 58-13 in favor of Boulder.
Fighting Girlfriend out there jamming for Elevated All-Stars up against Lady J for the Flatiron Phoenixes. Fighting Girlfriend doing a good job pushing that pack forward. Only has 2 blockers holding her back, and she's going to make it out and take lead. Elevated struggled to get lead this game, so this could be a really important jam for them to get some points on the board. Running some excellent offense, just moving that through. She's going to call it, taking those 4 points. It was a nice jam for Elevated.
And looks like we have a timeout for a moment. All right, we're going to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. We have Tiffany and Bosco PA. Tiffany and Bosco is a proud sponsor of Arizona Roller Derby. Trial lawyer Will Fishbach and his pack of all-star attorneys will deliver a grand slam to any courtroom bout and send their adversaries home with rink rash. Find them at tvlaw.com.
Been forgetting to read our sponsor reads or paying attention to our Twitch. Sorry about that, team. This is a good time to remind you all that we have a raffle for Pop and Joe. Shine like Pop and Joe. Check them out at popandjoe.com. You can enter our raffle if you're in the building. You can head on over there and buy a $5 raffle ticket. If you're enjoying the game on Twitch, you can hit that QR code and enter the raffle. If you win, we'll mail you a super cute little skate pack from Pop and Joe.
All right, and timeout is over, and we are back to Derby. And Lost in Your Thighs picks up a lead for Elevated, tries to get a apex jump, but is not uncontested, so has to go back to get those points. And Ricochet is also now on a scoring pass. Lost in Your Thighs calls it. Let's see if they're able to sneak any points in. All right, that's going to be a 4-0 jam, again in favor of Elevated.
Also, if you're enjoying the game on the Twitch and you're seeing some skaters that you'd like to see get the tournament MVP award, you can go to the link that will pop up by entering pound MVPS and go to that link and fill out the form and vote for your MVP for the tournament. Votes are open and available through Sunday at noon, so vote for your favorite skater and ensure they get the MVP award. Back on the track, we have Penelope Bruce up against Gemini jamming, and it looks like Penelope Bruce is going to take lead. While the blocker, Pixie Freeman, heads to the box with a forearm penalty. That's her third already.
And Gemini is still looking to get out and complete that initial pass. Has now taken off the jammer star and is looking maybe to pass it to the pivot, but it's just kind of getting hit to the infield by Flatiron Phoenix's blockers and trying again. And Penelope Bruce is able to just sneak right up on the inside and pick up another 4 points. And just as Gemini is able to get on the outside and now scoring eligible.
But 2-1-3 Primeval from Boulder is really making those jammers work for it, getting a lot of knockouts on the line and holding that together on the wall. Elevated coming back out with 4 blockers on the track this jam, keeping that 187 penalty box clear for their team.
And it looks like everybody's starting up at the Clover Cup 2025 pivot line. Let's see if they stay there or, oh, no, we're going to drop back to the Rehab Lab Arizona jam line.
Fighting Girlfriend taking lead. I think this is their second lead coming out as jammer. Meanwhile, Soccer Blue is really just pushing that blocker forward, trying to get out. Fighting Girlfriend moving into the pack. Decides to call it. That 187 penalty box totally empty this jam. Nice to see 2 full packs out there for both teams.
We have a shout out from Queer Baby Grandma on the chat. Go team, do the sports.
Lady J out there jamming for the Flatiron Phoenixes. Lost in Your Thighs for Elevated All-Stars, but Lady J is going to go ahead and take lead there.
All right, Lost in Your Thighs is still fighting in the back, but now it just has 2 blockers to fight against, as one of the Flatiron Phoenix blockers is in the box. And this is, again, a tight pack right now.
Pixie and Primeval just doing a great job blocking that jammer. They're now in the front of the pack, but still the 2 of them are just giving Lost in Your Thighs work. They're so close to the end of that pack there. Just keep pushing. That's some excellent defense.
And now we have Rutabaga Ginsburg back out of the box, just as the Flatiron Phoenix's pivot is sent. A little rotating door happening in our 187 penalty box, but
Lost in Your Thighs getting knocked out there by Primeval again.
lots of running back happening right now, and these jammers are working hard. These blockers are saying no.
You know, a 2-minute jam is a nice time to read my favorite sponsor read. Tiffany and Bosco is a proud sponsor of Arizona Roller Derby. These trial lawyer Will Fishback and his pack of all-star attorneys will deliver a grand slam to any courtroom bout and send their adversaries home with rink rash. That is my favorite sponsor read.
We love the theme. We're like on brand.
If you're into roller derby and you need a lawyer, Tiffany and Bosco is the place to be. Penalty box, 187 penalty box, hosting one skater from each team. So we're starting with 3-person blocker packs out here. Elevated is at 12 penalties and Boulder is at 13. So both these teams are racking them up.
Ricochet was able to pick up lead very quickly, taking the outside line, and is now looking to score some points for Flatiron Phoenixes. And Gemini is still looking to complete that initial pass and is able to find that same path on the outside.
Looks like Nene is going to call it, holding Elevated at 21 points. The winner of this game will go on to the championship game tomorrow. The loser will go on to our 3rd, 4th place matchup.
There's still so much derby to be had.
Yeah, and they'll get a nice rest. I think they have a 24-hour break between this game and their next. Rekka out there jamming for Elevated All-Stars. Penelope Bruce for Flatiron Phoenixes. Penelope Bruce almost getting out there on the outside, but still working through that blocking wall. Rekka taking lead for Elevated.
And Elevated's blockers are still able to hold Penelope Bruce back.
Yeah, I think having all 4 of them out there really does create an advantage
Definitely,
on
but
defense.
she was able to finish that initial pass, forcing Rekka to call it off. And let's see if they were able to. Nope, it's going to be a scoreless jam. All right, going into Jam 15, we have Fighting Girlfriend jamming for Elevated All-Stars at the Clover Cup 2025 pivot line as Soccer Blue pushes the Elevated blockers up and finds a spot on the inside and picks up lead jammer.
That was an excellent whip there to get that jammer out. I think that was Doom De Doom, the pivot, giving some assistance to that jammer. That was just super beautiful little whip. Oh, now that I see the 2 of them, I realize that Doom De Doom and Fighting Girlfriend are officials at some of the events we skate in.
Oh, we love
They
that.
both look familiar to me. I'm just used to seeing them in stripes. Boulder's Flatiron Phoenix is putting up a nice, strong wall here. Lost in Your Thighs just doing the best they can to push that pack forward. I think we're going to get a penalty here on one of the defensive players. It's giving Lost in Your Thighs a little more space. They're going to get that no pack call, and they pulled out of there with lead. Excellent work, way to stick with it, push through there. Coming around on a scoring pass while Lady J has taken that cover off. Elevated's got their wall together, ready to continue to hold that jammer. This is looking like a promising jam for Elevated. Lost in Your Thighs taking 4, getting a lot of cheers from the bench and a lot of enthusiasm. It's good to see.
Yeah, Elevated is really taking advantage of having all of their blockers on the track and just
Look at
really
that.
holding Lady J back as Lost in Your Thighs is able to pick up another 4 points. And it looks like we've had a successful star pass now to Pixie Freeman, who will become the jammer for Flatiron Phoenixes.
What a great jam for Lost in Your Thighs. That's the highest scoring jam so far this game for Elevated All-Stars. 12 points on the board, putting them up to 33. Raising spirits on the bench for sure.
And that was actually their all right, we have Gemini wearing the star for Elevated, picking up lead as Ricochet Nene is trying to fight on that inside. Back to the center and finish that initial pass. Both our jammers scoring eligible. All right, Gemini's looking for some offensive help on the inside, takes that in and calls it off, but before Flatiron Phoenixes are able to score.
It was an excellent jam as well, but also nice to see Boulder really reforming that defensive line as Gemini came in. I think this is really where you can see the effect of the penalties. Elevated's been able to keep all their skaters on the track the last couple jams, and it's made a real difference in their ability to get their jammers out and take lead.
And we are in Jam 18, Fighting Girlfriend for Elevated. Penelope Bruce for Flatiron Phoenixes are wearing the star. And both packs are doing hard work trying to keep their jammers in. And Fighting Girlfriend finds an opening on the inside to pick up a lead for Elevated. That is Fighting Girlfriend's third lead in a row. That is the team's third lead in a row.
I think we're going to see that jammer, Penelope Bruce, heading to the box, giving Fighting Girlfriend a power jam here. This is Elevated's opportunity to take a few more points. But those Boulder blockers are not going easily. They've now reformed and are holding that jammer again.
I'm looking for some offensive help from the blockers on the track. But the Flatiron Phoenix's blockers are really just holding it down, resisting that offense, and they are getting set now that Flatiron Phoenix's jammer, Penelope Bruce, is back on the track.
Penelope Bruce looking to pass that cover, and I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to get recycled back again by the Elevated blockers. Fighting Girlfriend still fighting so hard. A little bit further, and they're out taking those four. Now have the star pass.
And that is, again, Pixie taking the pass for Flatiron Phoenixes to become the jammer on record for the rest of this jam.
Fighting Girlfriend pushing through there to get a couple more points. I think we're going to see Boulder blocker heading to the box for a forearm call. LA's finest. This will leave Boulder with one person in the 187 penalty box, down to 3 blockers on this start. Elevated keeping their blockers on the track again. So I think we're seeing some sort of reform in the penalty behavior. Must have been a chat with the coaches that timeout really worked for them. We're going to take a little time out on the track, which is a good time to tell you about some of our sponsors. Element, stay salty, drink Element. Try some here at Monsoon Madness, or find yours at drinklmnt.com. Drink Element. Also want to just, again, thank our medics who are out there keeping everyone safe, keeping eyes on the track. Our medic sponsor is EVIT. They provide high school and adult students with advanced training in today's competitive job market. They've become regulars at the tournaments here at AZRD, and we really appreciate all the support they give us. We're going to move into an official timeout, so we'll go ahead and play some music.
All right, we are back from our official review. Flatiron Phoenixes was looking to overturn a back block call in that last jam, but the officials did not agree, and the call stands. So now we are in Jam 19 with Lost in Your Thighs picking up lead for Elevated. And looks like we have Pixie in starting this jam in the box, so we have a power start for Lost in Your Thighs.
Looks like Amina's going to the penalty box there. This is putting the Flatiron Phoenixes at 19 penalties. They already have 2 skaters at 5 penalties.
All right, and Lost in Your Thighs decides to call the jam, scoring 12 points and keeping the Flatiron Phoenixes at 0 for that jam. Shout out to Coach Schmidt on the Flatiron Phoenixes hat in the chat. It is very sparkly and I love it. Oh, both coaches are wearing them.
Soccer Blue and Gemini at the line again. Score is getting a little closer here, and Gemini is taking lead. Elevated is sort of chipping away at this scoreboard. See if they're gonna grab some points here, make quick business of it. Looks like one of the blockers is heading to the box for a forearm call. Gemini is going to take those 4, and looks like she's going to work on taking another lap.
Lots of bodies hitting the ground as Soccer Blue continues to try and complete a scoring pass, and Gemini is coming back around and takes advantage of an opening on that inside and skates through untouched.
It's nice. Gemini's got lead and has taken 8 points already. Soccer Blue is still on that initial 4. So we might see Elevated really take a lead here. Nice, quick little skate around, taking 4.
Very nice offense.
This is the jam that Elevated has needed.
Yeah.
Could feel the enthusiasm on the bench. The Boulder blockers are heading the box a little bit more on this jam.
And it looks like that is actually the jammer who is
that
headed
is the
to
jammer.
the box. Yes, so we now have a power jam in favor of Elevated with 33 seconds left on the clock.
Elevated's losing a blocker. They still have the power jam opportunity here. It's going to take 4. Let's see if they go ahead and call that so that they get this power start. She's going to call it. This is probably the right idea, right? We've got a 16-point jam for Elevated, bringing this game a lot closer, 73-86. We've got ourselves a tight game. Close to a tight game, nearing a tight game.
What a way to go to intermission. So, see you in 15.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing, if your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing.
Welcome back. We're back on the track here with the Flatiron Phoenixes versus Elevated All-Stars. If you missed the first half, we had a little bit of a spread that's narrowing here. The score is 90-73.
We have some, and there is that whistle for the first jam, and Fighting Girlfriend is getting that power start for Elevated, and Fighting Girlfriend was one of the highest scoring jammers for Elevated in that first half. And we have Soccer Blue back on the track now. Lead is open for both teams, and Fighting Girlfriend gets that lead jammer designation. But Soccer finds an opening on the inside and is now able to score.
Elevated, one of their blockers has left the 187 penalty box while another went back into it, so they're down a blocker. That jam's getting called off. Looks like Elevated is going to walk away with 3 points. Flatiron Phoenixes with 1, leaving our score at 91-76. So Elevated's chipping away at that lead. 2 points going to the Flatiron Phoenixes.
All right, we have Lady J jamming against Lost in Your Thighs, and Lady J is able to pick up lead for Flatiron Phoenixes.
Lost in Your Thighs, pushing those Boulder blockers out front, trying to get that split pack. Flatiron Phoenixes have the bridge, leaving this jammer just to push away. Lady J tiptoeing around the inside and just misses it and gets recycled back.
All right, Lost in Your Thighs getting a quick offensive help from number 9 on Elevated. And now we're back in that bridging position. Both teams really holding down the jammers.
Lady J trying to tiptoe along that inside one more time. But again, Elevated is able to hold her. Lost in Your Thighs is just putting in a brutal amount of work on this sled. Now at the second turn, we're a minute and a quarter into this jam. Tchaikovsky heading to the box with a directional call, I believe. And Elevated has made it out of the pack. That was a minute and a half of sled work for that poor jammer. That is just admirable work.
Jam 2. All right, well, we are going to continue this game, and that was 3 points picked up for Flatiron Phoenixes during that last jam, bringing our score 95 to 76 in favor of Boulder County.
Boulder starting with 3 blockers while their pivot sits in our 187 penalty box. Gemini on the line for Elevated All-Stars. Elevated's got 4 blockers out there, which is really helping them hold this jammer. Ricochet Nene. Gemini looking to get lead, and she takes it. It's a 20-point game here. Elevated blocker going to the box. The 187 penalty box is seeing a lot of action this game. We are at a total of 39 penalties thus far. Gemini's box telling them, get your points and call it. Looks like Gemini is going to take 3 points on that jam, putting Elevated All-Stars at 79. The Flatiron Phoenix is held at 0 for that jam.
So Flatiron Phoenixes are going to start this jam with a pack advantage, having all 4 of their blockers, while Elevated has 2, and Penelope Bruce is able to take advantage of those lack of blockers, picking up lead, while Fighting Girlfriend is doing just that, fighting through Flatiron Phoenix's blockers.
These 2 Elevated blockers hitting some nice O there for Fighting Girlfriend, but it's just real tough when you got 4 blockers out there and only 2 on your team. Elevated now at 3, Boulder also at 3. Fighting Girlfriend getting recycled back there by Abena. Looks like Fighting Girlfriend's going to get this scoring pass and another, the joy of another minute in this jam as Penelope Bruce heads to the box with, I believe that was a track cut call. Fighting Girlfriend taking 4 and coming around again.
And this is a great time for Elevated to really take advantage of the clock, needing to make up the score differential with another 4 points on the board. We still have about 40 seconds left in this jam as Penelope Bruce re-enters the track.
It's a real turn of events for Elevated on this jam. They started with 2 blockers and not getting lead, and now they're in a scoring position, and currently looks like it'll probably end up as an 8-8 jam right now. Boulder's taking 4 more points. Fighting Girlfriend working on getting 4 more.
Penelope Cruz having some great reads through that hack, just weaving through and finding the smallest line on the inside to pick up some more points. And let's see what the final tally is on this jam. It's going to be an even 12-12 for both teams, bringing us to 107 for the Flatiron Phoenixes, 91 Elevated All-Stars.
Cowboy hats have come off over on the Boulder bench as they have a little chat with the refs. everyone gets a little breather, and we're back out here for Jam 5. Lost in Your Thighs, jamming for Elevated All-Stars, and Soccer Blue for Flatiron Phoenixes. Soccer Blue pushing out to the front there. Taking a little spill, but probably going to get lead on this one. And they do.
All right, Lost in Your Thighs has the star in hand. Let's see if they're going to look to pass it or just be a little distracted.
329 there had a nice little knockout on the jammer. That's triple Axel Rose, but then took the directional call with that hit.
And Lost in Your Thighs is able to push up in the front of the pack and complete that initial pack. As Soccer Blue comes around for another scoring pass, looking to their bench and follows the call to call off the jam. We have 22 minutes left with 20-point differential.
Gemini and Lady J going head-to-head on the jam line here. It looks like Gemini took a penalty. Maybe that was a back block, and they're heading to the box. So Flatiron Phoenix with the power jam. Score had narrowed to 20 points, but this could put Boulder at an advantage.
Boulder coming in quick with the offense to pick up 4 points for Lady J as she comes around for another scoring pass.
Cat Claws, the pivot from Boulder, taking a directional call there and heading to the box.
And that is Axel slowing up the jammer just a little bit, but able to find that opening on the outside for 4 points as Gemini re-enters the track.
A lot of penalties this game. Flatiron Phoenixes at 27, Elevated All-Stars at 20. If you're on the Twitch and wondering what are these penalties and what do they mean, you can use our friendly little chat bot to learn more about penalties. Just hit that # penalties or # codes, I believe. And it'll give you all the information you need to know to learn more about the complex penalty calls that our officials manage. Lady J is running this jam long, working on getting those points and tiring out the elevated blockers.
And that is a call off, bringing Flatiron Phoenixes up to 123, scoring 12 points in that jam and holding Elevated scoreless. And we have Jam 7, Ricochet Nene, taking the star for Flatiron Phoenixes up at the Clover Cup 2025 pivot line as Rekka is trying to find that room to pick up lead. One more to beat, and there it is.
So Elevated blockers doing some good work on Nene, holding them back, while Rekka comes in to get some points here. Taking 4 points pretty quickly.
Looks at the bench before calling it off and holding the Flatiron Phoenixes scoreless for that jam, 4-0 in favor of Elevated.
Elevated's coming out with a full group of blockers here, 4 blockers on the track. Flatiron Phoenixes have 1 blocker in the 187 penalty box still.
And Fighting Girlfriend, wearing the star for Elevated, is pushing up front, while Penelope Bruise is taking on Elevated blocker. Getting some offensive help from Pixie, is able to get some momentum, but number 11 on Elevated, Killer Queen, is able to hit to the outside and running her back. Fighting Girlfriend now maybe looking for some offensive help, but they have to switch right back to D, as Penelope Bruise is not going to give up without a fight.
These Elevated blockers are really sticking to Penelope Bruise on this one, making them work real hard to get out. Cat Claws heading to the 187 penalty box for a multiplayer call. Fighting Girlfriend has made it out, but because they took the star off, they will not be lead.
But are now eligible to score some points at least.
Can still score
Penelope Bruise is
points.
stuck.
Looks like Penelope Bruise has also taken the cover off, so this will be a 2-minute jam. Fighting Girlfriend scoring points. Penelope Bruise still trying to clear that pack. I think Triple Axel Rose 329 has done an excellent job blocking on this jam, just repeatedly taking that jammer to the line.
And Fighting Girlfriend now coming through for a second scoring pass. And Penelope Bruise has not been scoring eligible this jam, and here is that 2-minute call.
Ooh, that was some great defense by Elevated. They held that jammer the entire length of the track.
Wow.
2 minutes solid. That jammer did not make it out, so kudos to them for giving their jammer time to make some points. It was a grueling jam, but it also put Elevated back into a 21-point spread with the Flatiron Phoenixes.
And Soccer Blue says the game is not over yet, picking up a lead for the Flatiron Phoenixes. Soccer Blue is actually Boulder's high-scoring jammer in the first half. So definitely doing a lot of work for the team, and picks up 4 right there, looking to the bench, and calls it off before Lost in Your Thighs is able to pick up any points.
Nice time to remind you, if you're watching on the Twitch and would like to enter our raffle for the Pop and Joe skate pack, you can go ahead and do that by scanning the QR code. If you're in-house and you'd like to join in the raffle, you can head over to the merch table and buy yourself a raffle ticket. Lots of grueling work happening up there on our Rehab Lab jam line. Both jammers just working to push these packs forward. They haven't made it to our pivot line yet.
Lady J is able to find some momentum on the outside, but has one blocker to beat and is able to make it around, picking up lead, as Gemini now has star in hand and makes that pass to Axel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. We're having a little team timeout, which is a nice time to thank all of our sponsors. EG's is sponsoring our volunteers. Take it easy, have an EG. The flavor of the month is Monsoon. So if you're here in the Phoenix Valley, go hit up EG's. Get yourself a icy But the Monsoon one is very purple, very raspberry. I would imagine it makes your whole mouth purple by the time you're done with it. Hit the EGs if you're in town. If you're on the Twitch and you live in Arizona, you can also go hit the EGs. I think EGs might only be in Arizona.
I think so. Yeah, it started in Tucson and has made its way up to Phoenix.
There you go. Well, good to have a local sponsor. And all of you on the Twitch, next time you visit Arizona, you can hit up an EG's. Timeout's over. We're back to some roller derby action. Getting to Jam 11 here. The Flatiron Phoenixes have had a slight lead the whole game, but not a comfortable one. Elevated keeps sort of chipping away at it, getting close. So I'm always rooting for a close game. It's much more fun to announce a close game.
Absolutely. And these teams are definitely doing their best to keep it as close as possible, with Nene picking up lead for Flatiron Phoenixes and Fighting Girlfriend doing a quick pass to Horticia Madden.
This is Boulder's first game of the tournament. They came in as the top seed, so they might also just have a slight advantage on the energy levels. Elevated played yesterday and beat hard, high altitude roller derby. The winner of this game will go on to play in our championship game tomorrow against the Angel City Rocket Queens.
We have 2 full packs as we head into our next jam with, let's see who we got. There's that 5-second call. All right, Penelope Bruce fighting up the middle, one to beat, and picks up that lead for Flatiron Phoenixes as lost to Air 5. Takes that star off and looking to pass it. And Penelope Bruce is tripped up briefly, but is able to get up and continue that scoring pass as Lost in Your Thighs completes an apex jump for that initial. All right, that's a quick hit to the inside to pick up one more point, and that
Here on the Twitch, enjoying this WFTA game, you can stick around and we'll have 2 open gender games after this. We'll be seeing Clown Town versus, I believe, Fuego Latino will be playing next. And then after that, we'll be seeing Cal Squad versus Uinta. Actually, correction, at 2 o'clock, we'll be seeing Uinta play Clown Town. 4 o'clock, Cal Squad versus Fuego. And at 6 o'clock, we'll be seeing a mashup game, Flash Floods versus Haboobs.
all right, and Gemini is able to pick up lead for Elevated All-Stars as we head into Jam 13 with Lady J fighting to complete that initial pass. Ooh, big hit to the inside, and Elevated Blocker is able to run her back as Gemini is continuing to fight for those points.
Gemini is going to call that off, putting Elevated All-Stars at 106. They were able to keep Flatiron Phoenixes at 0. Got 10 minutes left in this game, lots of time to make up 30 points. Boulder is now at 31 penalties. They have 2 skaters that have 6 penalties and a little bit of trouble. So if that keeps up, we could see a shift in the gameplay. Elevated putting up a big wall here on Soccer Blue. Soccer Blue has been the highest scoring jammer for Flatiron Phoenixes. Looks like Elevated has decided to just shut that down as much as possible.
Rekka is just fighting against those 3 Flatiron Phoenixes blockers in the back, quick hit to the inside and quickly back on the track trying to push
Just a
him
lot
up.
of work happening here. Both these jammers are just pushing sleds of bodies.
Ooh, and some offensive help from that blocker coming in from out of the box.
That was
Soccer
very
up
effective.
lead. Oh, it's awesome.
That was beautiful offense. You could just see that jammer thinking, oh, thank you. Get me out of this.
And Soccer is now able to complete that scoring pass and quick 4 points, and got a lot of bodies on the ground right now. It looks like Rekka got hit to the outside, and again trying to complete that pass. Oh, there we go. Star pass to pivot. Doom Doom. There we go.
Doom Doom with the star pass. Soccer Blue's going to call that off. I think walking away with 8 points probably. Elevated put up some great defense on that. It's a long defensive play, the first part of that jam. .187 penalty box is empty.
We have Nene wearing the star for Flatiron Phoenixes and Fighting Girlfriend for Elevated. And we are up at the Clover Cup 2025 pivot line, both still fighting to establish lead.
Fighting Girlfriend getting recycled back a little bit. Did a no pat call there, letting Fighting Girlfriend move forward a little bit. They're taking that cover off, looking for the star pass.
Jared, here's the calls from the bench to call it off, and it's going to be a 3-0 jam.
If you're in the building, we have lots of sponsors over at the vendor tables you can go check out. Oh My Squad Skate Shop is the only skate shop in Northern Arizona. They're here on site. Oh My Quad is owned by Halloween and Joya Destroya. They have over 15 years of skating experience and are excited to sell you some gear. Look at that, Lost in Your Thighs, taking lead jammer, nice and quick, moving through that pack. Elevated looking to hold back this jammer. Penelope Bruce is taking the cover off.
Are you taking suggestions for MVPs?
I will always take suggestions for MVPs.
All right.
All right, and Lost in Your Thighs is getting some offensive help from Harley and trying to get those points as Penelope Bruce continues to try and complete that initial pass with star in hand. And here comes Lost in Your Thighs picking up a second scoring pass, now bringing Elevated to 8 this jam as Penelope Bruce is able to complete their initial.
Lost in Your Thighs calling that off, but I think pulled 2 points on that final lap. That should put them at 10.
All right, Gemini quickly getting some momentum at the start of this jam and picking up a lead. And Lady J has one to beat. The rest of, and there she is.
I have to say, Gemini came out just looking like, I'm getting lead. Like, this is
Yeah.
it. The face just looked ready to take it. There was some spirit there on Jam 17 that was nice to see. Flatiron Phoenixes have been able to kind of hold this 30-point spread for a couple jams now. Elevated makes few, lose few, makes few. But we still got 4 minutes left of Derby. Anything can happen. Rekka on the line for Elevated. Soccer Blue out here again, just pushing through those Elevated blockers.
And Soccer Blue able to pick up the lead. Rekka passing to Axel very quickly, and
Lovely star cover pass there.
love to see it.
Abena sweeping blockers left and right, just creating a lot of space for Soccer Blue to get through there. Oh, that was cute.
Axel trying to sneak out 1 point, but the ref disagrees.
Axel threw those hips and looked right at that ref and was like, did I get one? Maybe.
It's so real, though.
It was very cute. It was a nice effort. Here we are again, Jam 19, Ricochet Nene on the line for Flatiron Phoenix, but Fighting Girlfriend just bolts out of that pack and takes lead. Fighting Girlfriend coming around, trying to get some points on this one.
And the pack is really active, waiting for these jammers to come
Just taking
around.
it and calling
Everybody's
it.
trying to get those points. Fighting Girlfriend looks for the call. Let's see. Oh, looks like it's going to be a 2 points for 2 points for each pack.
Nene really came flying out of that. She was behind, but not for long.
All right, Lost in Your Thighs pushing up as Lady J sneaks through on the inside to pick up lead jammer. Get some offensive help there from their elevated blockers. Lost in Your Thighs finishes that initial pass as Lady J comes around to score some points. And hearing that call from the bench, calls it off with a... Wait for the scoreboard to tell us. A 2-0 jam. 3-0.
Jam 21 starting here. We've got Gemini and Soccer Blue on the line. Soccer Blue taking lead. Gemini not far behind.
Just some great footwork from both of these jammers
It
to
really
stay
was.
in on those lines and continue the game.
Both of them had like a tiptoe and a spin and then took it off. Soccer Blue is going to go ahead and call it. Still have about a minute on the clock.
Elevated is currently at a pack advantage, having all 4 of their blockers on the track, while Flatiron Phoenixes will have 2 blockers in the 187 penalty box. And there's Rekka picking up a lead for the elevated All-Stars, with Nene fighting through and completing that initial. Getting some offensive help from her teammates, able to pick up all 4 points and call off the back.
Rekka's getting that call. There's 24 seconds left. We'll see if they're going to stop this clock or run it out. We're going to get that timeout call. That'll stop the clock. So we'll see one more jam. While we enjoy this time out, let's remind everyone on the Twitch, you'll get a little time to take yourself a break and then come back for our open gender games that'll be happening a little bit later. There's 2 more games up today for open gender, and then we'll have an open gender mashup game. You can watch the flash floods hit the haboobs. These are both 2 Arizona storm references to celebrate Monsoon Madness. It's our final jam for the game. Flatiron Phoenix is standing at the bench while we see Fighting Girlfriend taking lead. Elevated's got their full pack out there running defense. Fighting Girlfriend taking 4 points. Lady J is now out. Gonna put that star back on. Fighting Girlfriend fighting through that wall.
Getting some offensive help from Killer Queen there, and it's both jammers completing those scoring passes around for another lap.
Coaches are calling a run it, so Fighting Girl's gonna go for 4 more. A lot of enthusiasm in the room and on the bench for this final jam.
Axel is able to slow down Lady J so that elevated blockers can reform around her as Fighting Girlfriend comes around for another pass.
Fighting Girlfriend getting recycled, Lady J taking 4. We're now at 8-12 for this jam. Fighting Girlfriend now at 16. Nice final jam to this game. Thanks for joining us for the last WFTDA matchup for today. Come back tomorrow to see our 3rd place in our championship WFTA games. For the rest of today, we'll be playing some really super fun open gender games, so stay tuned on the Twitch.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Did you know that your head is not normal? No one's is. Head shapes are as unique as fingerprints, so choosing a helmet that's custom to you is the best way to keep you safe while playing derby. A lot of us have spent most of our derby careers wearing a helmet that's the same size shell, whether you're a size small, medium, large, or extra large. One size fits all doesn't work for our feet, and it definitely doesn't work for your head. Roller derby helmets are designed to absorb and disperse the force of impact using EPS foam, which is scientifically designed to fit close to your head, allowing it to protect your head by crumpling or compressing upon impact. So here's the thing. If your helmet size is a small, but you're wearing the same shell size as your teammate who's an XL, not only does it look kind of funny, the functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised. So no matter how much foam you stuff into your helmet to make it stay put, you're more at risk for head injuries, putting you at risk.
The 888 certified Sweat Saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music license. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.